All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So Ryan Fitzpatrick, ex-Jets quarterback, recently sounded off on Zach Wilson, specifically his performance against the New England Patriots. And he was honest, some would say maybe brutally honest, didn't hold back, right? That's for sure. And I think it's important when we're talking about Ryan Fitzpatrick that we understand his NFL career. I really think he's the definition of a journeyman quarterback. This is a guy who, personally, I value what he has to say. It's not like he's doing like he's a part of the media and he's doing it for clicks and he wants to be talked about. I look at Fitzpatrick's career. I mean, given the amount of teams he's played for, the amount of offensive systems that he's been a part in, the amount of defenses that he's seen, and also the amount of teammates that he's had, he knows a thing or two about offensive football here. And I'm really excited to dive into this one. But before we do, I did want to say that I'm still giving away these autographed jerseys. Today's the last day to enter for the Michael Carter. This one's actually going to be shipped out tomorrow. The winner's going to be announced. And then we still got CJ Mosley and Braxton Berrios. Those are going to be given out over the next 2 weeks. And to sign up, you just want to click on the first link in the description. Use registration code JC, just name, email, address, and the registration code, and you're in. It doesn't cost any money or anything like that. And also what's super cool is once you're in, you're not only just in for the Michael Carter and the future 2 Braxton Berrios and Mosley jerseys, but every other future giveaway I do with Pristine Auction, you're automatically entered. So when we take a look at Wilson's performance against the Pats, obviously it wasn't all that great. Completed 20 passes, over 41 attempts, also had the 3 INTs. Ryan Fitzpatrick said that it's going to be a nice wake-up call for Zach Wilson. There has been some good, but he still needs to learn how to play quarterback at the NFL level. And then he went on to say that it's a red flag that the Jets needed to bring in his personal quarterback coach last season, which was former BYU quarterback John Beck, who was actually not brought back by the team this season, which in my opinion is understandable considering he is a personal quarterback coach. But Fitz went on to say that he felt like the Jets were coddling him. And this is kind of my take here on the whole situation. You know, when we want to talk about last year and bringing in John Beck, I feel like there's more to the story there. Unfortunately, and this is way more important than football, Greg Knapp passed away, and he was a major part, or was going to be a major part, in this Jets coaching room, in this Jets offensive coaching room with the development of Zach Wilson. Again, he passed away here. When you have something tragic like that, it really puts things in perspective. You know, think about everybody mourning the loss of Coach Knapp. You know, these players and coaches, they're not just machines that are just going to go about their lives, you know, moving forward. I actually commend the Jets for bringing in John Beck. I felt like it was definitely weird, you know, out of the box, but I liked it. You know, I think the most important thing when talking about developing a rookie quarterback or a young quarterback is making him feel comfortable. Whether that's maybe simplifying the offense a little bit, maybe that's making sure he's getting that chemistry with his teammates, whatever it is. So the way I kind of looked at it was the team was making a quick pivot into making sure Zach Wilson feels comfortable after this tragic event. So again, I don't really agree that the Jets were coddling Wilson. Not really so much at all. But here's where I agree with Fitz, where he says he does have to learn how to play like an NFL quarterback. Some of these throws, you know, we can point to the Patriots game. We can even look at other games, even in some of the wins this season. Some of these throws are absolutely atrocious. The decision making needs to be worked on. The hero mentality needs to be worked on. Okay, the efficiency needs to go up. And look, is it all on Zach Wilson? No. I mean, he's dealing with multiple injuries here. Multiple guys on the offensive line are out. You know, some of the star players on this football team are out. AVT, Breece Hall. He didn't have Corey Davis on Sunday against the Patriots. Some of Mike LaFleur's play calls are absolutely horrendous. Some of them I really like, but some are horrendous, right? We have to call it like we see it. Zach Wilson, he was a big part of the loss on Sunday against New England, but it's not like he was 100% to blame and everybody else was absolutely perfect. And Zach was the only thing holding this Jets team back. It's a team game. It's a collective effort here. Zach was bad. he was bad, but that doesn't just excuse everything else, like the special teams problems, like, again, Mike LaFleur's play calls. We can't just sweep the injuries under the rug as well. It was the first game without Breece Hall. I like Zach Wilson's upside. I do, and funny enough, I actually went back before making this video and I found some of my notes that I was writing when Zach Wilson was back in BYU, just, things I liked, things I didn't like, and I actually have the notebook here. So I guess let's start with the good stuff first. I love how he put the ball in play, his quick release, arm power, good decisions, most of the time. Mobility, elusiveness. I loved watching that Jeff Grimes offense as well. It was like poetry in motion. And, going back to this offseason, I felt like, and, even the season where the Jets drafted Zach, I thought it would have been really beneficial for Mike LaFleur to fly down to Waco, Texas, meet with Jeff Grimes, and just have a meeting, right? Let talk about this offensive scheme. And it is similar to what the Jets do with like the pre-snap motion and everything like that, the quick releases, reliance on the short passing game. But back with the way Jeff Grimes did it, I felt like there was always an out, right? There was always a plan B. If plan B wasn't there, there was plan C. If plan C didn't work out, there was plan D. There was always an option for Zach Wilson. I loved also how there was a lot of stuff in front of his face. So like crossing patterns, slants. He always took big step dropbacks too. He always had so much room in the pocket. And obviously he hasn't had that luxury at the NFL level, but I'm a big fan of just playing within the offense, being in sync, in rhythm. Everybody's on the same page, including the offensive coordinator or the play caller. And I felt like that was always happening week after week after week with the Cougars, under Grimes and Wilson. The only game I was a little skeptical on was the Coastal Carolina game. And that game actually came right down to the end, and Wilson had the hero ball mentality in that last drive, and it actually worked. They had an opportunity. It was like the Super Bowl years ago with the Rams and Titans, where the guy was like knocked down at the 1 yard line. But anyway, I like Zach Wilson, his upside and everything like that, but it's no secret that he needs to play better. I know in my recap videos, I'm saying it, I feel like week after week, like we need more from the quarterback position. You're not going to win a bunch of games when the second overall pick is throwing for 120 yards, and that's like a weekly thing. Now you factor in the turnovers. I mean, quite frankly, in my opinion, it's inexcusable, and I do agree with Fitz that he needs to learn how to play the quarterback position better. My 3 favorite moments from Zach Wilson have all been when the offense has been clicking, right, throughout the course of his Jets career. It was the Bucs game, the first half of the Eagles game, and the fourth quarter of the Steelers game. All 3 games, Zach Wilson was putting the ball in the wide receiver's hands, distributing, not making stupid decisions with the football, not playing with that hero mentality. I know a lot of people want to reference like the Corey Davis throw against the Titans where he's rolling out. It was an awesome throw, but I just don't think that you can you can't as an offense rely on one big play every drive. I just don't think that's sustainable. It's going to happen with Zach's arm strength. There's quarterbacks that do it more frequently than others, like Rodgers and Josh Allen, and Mahomes. But I don't think it's sustainable for the long term. I think ideally in this offense, you want a guy to play within the offense. Think of a Jimmy Garoppolo, or even like a Matthew Stafford last season. Just he can execute what's happening, he can diagnose what's happening in front of him, and he knows where to go with the football pretty much at all times. And Zach also has the ability to extend plays and dodge traffic and everything with his legs. So I don't think it's a coincidence that literally like I feel like the entire mainstream media love Zach. I mean, Dan Orlovsky, Chris Sims, Daniel Jeremiah, Todd McShay, Brian Baldinger, Kurt Warner, Steve Young, who else? Tony Romo, Troy Aikman. The list goes on. I'm sure I'm forgetting a couple people out there, but a lot of people are backing Wilson, and it's going to be interesting to see how he bounces back against a very, very good Bills defense. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.